And we are at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Big homie. Big homie.
Double tight, double tight. Four down. Check.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Not today.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Boom, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
I call you in the dude.
Stop! 180!
On second down, here's Trubisky. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to get him for a loss of 5. Let's see what they draw up here. Third and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Blue.
Stop! 180! We got 4.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Ryan and the Falcons now come up first and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain. Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. He's got Sanu. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
39.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
22!
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, 45 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go play action here on first down. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Deion Jones coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Come on, come on.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Lock in, lock in.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Here we go on 4th down with Trubisky. He's going to rifle into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Left.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Left.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Tight end's right.
11.
3 down.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT.
Hey, check. Ready. Black 25.
4th down. Here's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, 28 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Hey, 18.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
2nd and 10, it's Trubisky again. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Trubisky will throw. Wide open receiver complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago First. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Red's up.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Poole. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Express. 11. 22.
3 down.
Gotta go.
Now Ryan's going to give it to Freeman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, wait.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Now Ryan. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. I mean, officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team.
18.
I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if he's got a man complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one, and even 50 yards.
Mike's 5'9".
Red, up.
Now Trubisky on first down. This is caught, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Bears got into that lead. And it's 17-7. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that, but I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Ready, Blue 80.
44, Mike.
Space. Let him go.
On second down, Ryan. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. On third down, Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Danny Trevathan, he's the one to get in this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, that one. Yeah. That one, huh?
No, this is nothing.
12.
44's the Mike. 44's the Mike.
21.
Here we go.
Hey, Tuesday. Hey, South. 11.
Mike's Bobo.
Hey, South.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it.
And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. It's taken to the 26. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on
Red, up! Sit up! 180!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Sit up!
Looking to throw Trubisky on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Sit up! 180! Blue. Under 10! Sit up!
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Ryan. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Harkey adds the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Coleman now. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
So 2 quarters, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this 2nd half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Freeman again, a first down carry. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Coleman takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Gun. 20.
And on the handoff, it's Freeman. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
21.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Run imposed their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 40 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Well, it's not time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears draw a bit closer.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Out of the gun, Trubisky throws left side. And he's got it. They convert for 2, and that gets them even closer. Now a 2-point game.
Hot.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
There we go. 39. Gun.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Partner, those are back-to-back 6-yard runs, and if they're going to continue to get those types of plays, shoot, you just keep running the same stuff, don't you?
Yeah, it was 1st and 10, then 2nd and 4. Now 1st and 10 again. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
22.
Here's Coleman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Hey, let's go.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Tight right.
They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu, 38 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
On 1st down, Trubisky. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They go play action with Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Jack Crawford with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
180! Blue. Red, up.
Watch the out.
18.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That's caught inside the 20. A gain of 39 that time.
Red,
And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's. That's exactly what they did there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football.
Red, up.
59.
They try again with Cohen. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Trubisky keeps it himself. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side, able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Let's go.
How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out.
Tight on the left. Move.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. So what can the Bears do here as they'll go for 2?
Tight end right.
Sit up. 180.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
Let's go.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Flushed out right. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
21.
Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, 75 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And shedding through the tackle. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
Red, up. Sit up.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Trubisky. He's going to let it fly.
Let's go, D.
It got his man complete. And a gain of 39 that time. First down now, but that clock rolling.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A gain of 32 that time. Clock running here under 90 seconds to go. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
And this is intercepted. That should do it. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there.
Thicker the pie, thicker the bag. Mean I'm a buyer, now lacing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it. The is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin. Now the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to forward out. She don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on in case. We was on roll like tires. What we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all in the same. Broke it, end of the month, flow, Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean, never let them touch, fits like temper, tantrums, girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends, girl, hopping up about a Pearl 6, Louis speed bag glued to her wrist, she was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay, weave blade thicker than a snigger bang, talking about she don't come with no baggage, all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
wave, watch for the sharks bounce. I gave it up and talking Cuban links. Tell her ain't no weak link in my Cuban link. Only like my age. We was gangin' since the platinum Fubu days. I got dreams of being Hova, I should movie, yay. Listen, babe, it's so good you think I'm cool with yay. Okay, my diamonds dancing, I could Lisa Ray. Life is hard, but it's easy being truthful, baby. For real, overload. This is like I got like my pinky. Money, baby, we don't pay, but ain't ours. Bet it back, I bet I match it like the same style. Chopsticks for beef from shutting PF chains down. I gave you prophecy, my first one, then you laying down. Luckily, so, but it wasn't for me. Still the flow raw, peep the way I bubble in these streets. Who can with me?
Nikki, baby. Honorable Cena. Buddha blesses me.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swing goes now. Smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about folks now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, then sell it. Free mind. Cash 'em out, we bailin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student fella. Now I got a lawyer, straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element, out my element. My the same, don't need no clout, no fame. Bought the game, all brand new chain. Ice, swerve the lane, call the group the gang. Whip that thing, then she give me, ooh, yeah. Them boys fool you trying to do it, bring the don't want no, they pull up with that. It's times three, this how it go. Park $1 million at the we gon' eat that until we go. Eat it up. Rich straight to the top floor. More PJs than rich like water, go to Cabo. Cash in the walls, hollow. Your money too small, micro. Hunch up on the call, gotta. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swing goes now. Smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about folks now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about folks now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Ice the game, had to ice the game. So much ice, too much, had to ice the lane. Freeze the dud, had to freeze the lane. Freeze, camera phone. Turn your lights off. We been on. Came from my block and growed up, guess I'm homegrown, well known. That is my cologne. I put my wrist inside the freezer, came out froze. Ice. I put my heart inside, cause I was chose. I put my heart inside and only God knows. Yeah, the clinics, but that baby bite this nose. I bite this nose. What's a leg with till they explode? Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swing goes now. Smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't skid. Splash. Think about folks now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang
shop. Marvin the Martian. I'ma put your brain up for auction. Proceed with caution. Skeleton AP is frosted. I sit back and read the offense. Was it did it the faucets? Chanel bag is ostrich. Stay down, come up in the process. Private jet, yeah. The same diamond milk, yeah. I'ma keep the on welfare. The pink stone real. Bling bling blow, yeah. Mama got style, yeah. Chanel reptile player. On Mars, gotta get the grace of the God. 3 rock stars, nobody seeing the gang on guard. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. Could you? I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 30,000. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. I'm on the road, I'm getting paid like what you want, baby. You a bougie, baby, but I love you, baby. Give you the world, baby. Pay $5 grand for a handbag like Saint Laurent, baby. You love that money, baby. 100,000 plus 100,000 my whip. 30,000 plus 30,000 my wrist. We got those bad, that's. I swear, baby, it was just kiss, now how could I forget that you done for me? Baby, gonna take the charge and take the fall from me. Would love to take you shopping, but I'm in your town. Sorry, little mama, I can give you more. Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. Could you? I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 30,000. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah. Bar for me. Bar for me, yeah.
Gotta hit him on the jack. When you coming back, where's you at on the map? Everything is intact. Could've been a seamstress, still wouldn't cut him slack. Pretty much ain't got a clue. Itty bitty piggyback off everything I do. But I'm still dropping. Got him looking like James Harden at the awards. Back to you, I'm so into you. For real, bread, like I'm kin to you. If you a 10, I add 10 to you. They be mad when I 10 to you. That's what the bay like. Call me Buffy, cause that's what I slay like. These, I son them like it's daylight. These wanna know what it's like. What it's like, yo, what it's like, yo. They wanna know what it's like, yo. All this ice is like snow. Get kimonos and let's fly to Tokyo. Pretty, pretty, please, baby, won't you pop this for me?
I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got the time to get you sailing right now. I got too much on my mind right now. Tell that hero Dale, get my baby 30,000.
Made 100K on my third shift from a boy, so boy, no, I'm a gangster. And you a boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count. Cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now. Yeah, I'm two up. Round blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we would blow your budget in the club to boof up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count. Cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the know the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. Them play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros.
Thought you went out. No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I'm a I am a boss in the cut, mayday. Bubbles and I'm these models and it's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down.
Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall.
I feel like a boss right now. Talk down the man right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked a towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give up my dues. Never got to talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Nah, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line of bees in this gear. I hate a dude with no plans. Now I don't usually get near. Oh, I ask her man, cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us with the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting our time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. Plan New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. Feeling like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix of Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No poker eyes, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days.